Hey everyone, it is Nick at Yuli. Welcome, welcome. If you've ever spent hours tweaking your sales page only to check your numbers and think, what am I doing wrong? Why is nobody signing up? Why is nobody hitting that book now button? This session is for you. Last time we got together, we went over 5 excellent ideas, make or break elements. And that was part one. Today, we're going to go into 5 more elements plus a bonus element for you. So a lot of us think that sales page fails because of something big like the wrong photos, the wrong price, or the wrong platform. And it's usually none of those things. It's usually just a handful of small but crucial things that are missing. So if guests don't see crucial information, they are going to scroll away. And we are going to fix that for you today. We're going to zero in on some elements that are going to be doing the heavy lifting. So let's dive in and see what we've got here. The first thing is this is how you'll feel when you arrive hook. This is the first handshake with your guest. Your customers are overwhelmed. They're tired. They don't want logistics thrown in their face. They want to imagine themselves breathing again. They want to feel the arrival moment. They lean in when they feel the experience. And if they can't feel that experience, they're going to bounce. This is emotional onboarding, and it works every single time. So when someone lands on your page, they're not looking for your schedule. They're looking for relief. They're looking for a doorway out of chaos. They are looking for a piece of information that is going to give them a sensory feeling. Yeah. So you want to paint a tiny scene that replaces all the stress buzzing around in their heads with warmth, with light, with breath, and maybe a welcome ritual. Doesn't have to be poetic, it just has to be human. This is the part that bypasses their logical brain and goes straight to emotion. And emotion is what keeps people from scrolling too much. So we want to stop them from scrolling, and connecting with them emotionally is how you're going to do that. This matters because people don't buy your retreat because of your itinerary. They buy the way that they expect to feel when they show up. And if you can show them that you understand their inner state, the tightness in their chest, the exhaustion they're sick of carrying, then you give them a quick taste of what arriving at your retreat actually feels like. And you've created trust. And if you skip out on this, your page starts out cold and clinical, and people check out even before they get warm. So take a quick look here at this retreat that I pulled up. The first thing that you see in the summary, there's really not a whole lot of text above this. It kind of zoomed right in on this. It says the winter retreat is filled with deep, meaningful activities and workshops, and all are welcome. All are welcome. Does that mean there's going to be 4-year-old kids there? Does that mean there's going to be 85-year-old grandmas there? As a participant, I want to know these things because I want to feel like this is a retreat that's built for me. And when you say all are welcome, that means I am not welcome. I am out. Okay. And then the next line, come and dive into things like breath work, grief, or jump into a playful workshop. That's all over the place. Like when I arrive, are there going to be camps? Do I go over to breath work? Do I immediately go into grief work? Do I go into playful workshops? It's so unclear. It speaks to nobody. They're trying to encompass everybody, and they're actually speaking to absolutely nobody. Okay, let's take a look at this. So if we go down a little bit further on that page, you get this lovely paragraph that says the theme for this retreat is death with a big exclamation point. Get out of your comfort zone and explore grief, passion, letting go, and more. Now, there's a tasteful way to do this. This is not exactly the way to do it. What you're trying to do is bring people in, let them feel what it's going to feel like to actually land there. And let's give you an example of what that could look like. All right. So here's a good example. The moment your feet touch the ancient grounds of Teo, something shifts. You sense a hum in the air, an unspoken invitation to listen, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. Sunlight filters through the clouds, casting patterns across the weathered stones, as though the land itself was greeting you by name. And beneath it all, an ancient pulse stirs, drawing you closer into timeless wisdom, as if it had been waiting for you. Now, the emotional pull there is a lot different than come explore grief, come join a drum circle. There has to be something that draws people in emotionally. And maybe this language is a little too flowery for you, but there has to be a good balance where we can get where we can get things working there. All right. So for those who have troubles creating stuff like this, I've created a ChatGPT prompt for you, and we can share this with you after the uh, after the event. Very simple. Write a 2 or 3 sentence sensory vignette for the top of your retreat sales page. Make the reader feel like they've just arrived. Describe what they hear, the temperature of the air, how their body begins to relax. So, and then you'll be able to take that as an opener and then tweak it so that it works for you. The next thing, what's in the box? So it's amazing to me how many people don't say what's included and what's not included in the retreat. And not only is it important, it's actually illegal to not include this information. It is illegal to sell travel without stating what is included and what is not included. Beyond legalities, people want to see a clear representation of what they're getting themselves into. They want to feel that they're being taken care of. And best of all, a clean list makes your retreat look valuable, and simplicity is a sales strategy that you can use very simply. All right, so let's take a look at this men's retreat, okay? You're looking at this men's retreat. At first glance, it looks like everything is included. 3 nights accommodation, 3 daily delicious and nutritious meals, specialized workshops, group excursions. So they list what is included and what's not included there until you start taking a closer look. All right. You're seeing this correctly. This is a men's retreat, and that is a shared bed for 2. And this is geared for straight dudes. Okay. Now I'm gay, and I would be hard pressed to share a bed with a stranger. All right. So I think when you're saying 3 nights accommodation, you need to be really specific on what type of bedding there's going to be. What are the rooms like? Are they shared? Are you sharing a bed? I think those are kind of important things. All right. Let's take a look at those 3 delicious and nutritious meals. Do they cater to food preferences and allergies? Now, if you don't put it here, it better be up in the message of the sales page. And I had a hunt through it, and it turns out that this particular one does take care of food allergies and food preferences, but I really had to hunt for it. Okay. The other one that's confusing to me here is luggage storage. I'm like, why would that even be something that's included? Why would you say luggage storage? That makes me think, okay, they're going to take all of my stuff away from me and store it someplace, and I'm not going to have access to my stuff. So if you're going to put stuff in what's included and what's not included, please, do it logically. Let me share with you an example of how you can do what's included and what's not included and be really descriptive. These what's included and what's not included are going to save you so much time because you're not going to be answering all the emails from folks going, well, is this included? What about this? Be descriptive in your what's included and what's not included, and you'll be better off. So here's what's included. Indulge in 6 nights in deluxe accommodations in a luxurious villa with a private bathroom for your comfort and convenience. Then it states, bedroom 7 and 8 in the casita share a bathroom. Okay. Enjoy hassle-free airport transportation with our team taking care of your arrival and departure transfers. Savor the authentic flavors of Mexico with 2 chef-prepared meals daily, including breakfast and dinner. And up in the actual sales page, they do say that they will take care of all food choices and food preferences and stuff. It lets you know that there's an open bar, unlimited alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. So it really goes into every single detail and fills you in, not just with single bullet points. And notice again, it's romancing you into being very excited about staying here as opposed to, hey, we're giving you free luggage storage. All right. Awesome. Any questions about that good stuff? None? Andrea, you're an absolute delight to watch. I love when folks are smiling and enjoying themselves.
Oh, good to hear.
Are you currently doing retreats?
No, not retreats. We're doing our buying trips in small groups. So
Awesome.
it's very similar to
Yeah.
your structure. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. What is it? Parents booking for kids? Is that?
No, it's a members group.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Excellent. So, all right. So you can have the prettiest sales page on earth, but if the back end looks like a dumpster fire, people can sense it. So nobody books a retreat that looks like it's held together with with Gmail threads and Google Sheets and a random form that gets, mailed or God knows faxed to them or whatever. A system that looks professional creates calm for you and confidence for them. So if it's smooth, people think to themselves, okay, this person knows what they're doing. And if it's chaotic, they feel that too instantly. Now, of course, I'm working for Yuli. I'm a retreat leader. I have been using Yuli for the last 5 years, long before I joined Yuli to help talk about their products. And once upon a time, when I was organizing travel, it was faxing documents back and forth and then emailing documents back and forth. And so for me, having one system that pulls it all together is fantastic. And for my customers, it's nice for them to have a place where they can log into a portal, they can see the invoices and what they need to pay. They can see the documents that need to be done. So they sense that it's a professional thing and they feel confident forking over the money for that. Cool. So, Andrea, are you a Yuli user?
I am. We are currently on the free plan, but we're upgrading to the Enterprise Lite December 1st.
Delightful. Fantastic. And if you have any questions as we go along, just by all means ask. So these are forms that you'll see within Yuli. So customers log in and they can see the tasks that are remaining to be done. Down in the lower left is one of my trips where folks sign up. It just breaks everything down for them. It's just so easy for them just to register and pay. It's so professional compared to what we were doing for so long. What were you guys using before you joined Yuli?
Lots of Excel sheets.
Which
You're using
and how often did things get screwed up because you're manually doing stuff?
um it would happen, but it was so time consuming, and we would have documents saved in multiple places, and it would have to be designed differently depending on whether it was a leader that needed it for the trip or a vendor such as like a car company or, hotel. So it was a lot of extra work.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I wonder how we survived those early days before there were systems out there that would just take care of all of it. It's wild. Yeah, so now my customers feel really confident knowing that they can come out here, fill out the forms needed. There's no back and forth. Everything is easy to take care of. I love it. So, and anybody who's listening, if you're watching a replay, if you're not on Yuli and you want a demo to see what it actually can do and what it looks like, drop a line, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a demo. My goal is not to sell you Yuli. I'm looking for the people where Yuli is going to actually make a difference in your business. I don't want to shoehorn you into Yuli. I want Yuli to be the right tool for you. So there's that. All right. Transparent how we handle your money. This isn't about policy. This is about trust. So when you talk to people about money openly, people feel safe. And when you don't, they start imagining the worst case scenarios. A simple, transparent note removes all the mental noise and gets them ready to hit that button. So what do I mean? What do I mean about how we handle your money? Short, simple explanations of deposits, refunds, deadlines, payment plans, all in clean, simple human language, no jargon, no legalese, no 15-paragraph policy dump, just a money conversation that feels honest instead of predatory. And this matters because the number one reason people hesitate to book is money anxiety. We all know that the internet's been around a long time and people have become very, very good at scamming other people. So you want to make sure that when you talk to people, everything is spelled out, that there's clarity, and that clarity is going to build trust, and that clarity is going to reduce ghosting. And if you leave out any of those sections, one, not as only illegal, people are going to assume that you're hiding something. So just keep it nice and simple. In my retreats, I either have how we handle your money, something very simple like this, and I will have multiple links out to here's my refund policy. Here is what happens in cancellations, something that's just very, very simple, so that everybody understands what's going on. All right. Here's another ChatGPT prompt I'm happy to send to you. Essentially, it is going to help you build that how we handle money box for you. It will talk everything. It'll spell out everything from the deposit amount to the refund windows to payment plan options. So you'll basically just plop in your details at the end of this prompt, throw in the prompt, give it to ChatGPT, and have it write it out for you. So nice and simple. And we're kind of just buzzing through this. We're already going to take a look at our fifth element, what you're going to take home. Okay. This is where you show them the ROI. And by ROI, I mean return on intention. People are not necessarily paying you in the retreat world for hikes or meals. They're paying you for who they're going to be when they return home. So people don't necessarily buy the week, they buy the after experience, who they're going to be after the event. And when you spell that out, it justifies the price without you sounding salesy. I mean, I work with retreat leaders all the time, and they put together a great program. And there's a guilt around how much they are charging. They're like, well, I can go out and somebody could book all of this stuff and do it for $3,000 less than what I'm charging. I'm like, yes, but what you're offering is transformation. You are offering them the experience of not only doing it with you and taking care of all of the details, but the change that they're going to experience and go home with. All right. So I focus on the results, not the activities. So it's not a morning meditation that you're going to get, but rather a morning ritual that you'll be able to keep once you get home. It's not just hiking through the canyon, but rather a calmer, more confident relationship with your body. Especially in the retreat world, you want to let people know what they're coming home with. All right. I normally place this section right after the itinerary or right before the offer. It's kind of the bridge between what they're going to do and who they'll become. And that's part of the magic that gets people to click that button. Questions about that?
Oh,
Andrea,
good.
tell me about your uh, retreats, not retreats, but your travel.
Yeah, so we're a buying group and we bring people over to Antwerp, Belgium, to the diamond capital. So we have members, so the people that we're taking are members, are mom and pop jewelry store owners. And so we've developed a lot of relationships within that group that likes to travel. So a lot of them are repeat offenders, if you will, but we certainly are getting new members all the time and we like to welcome them too. So we do several of those trips throughout the year. We bring them over. We help develop that relationship with our vendors over in Antwerp and create, also events, sightseeing, dinners, stuff of that nature, and learning experiences as well. And then we will also incorporate side trips. So a little bit of business and pleasure mixed in. And we've doing really great with that. And the program's growing. And so there's definitely, a great need to update our planning and not be doing it on Google, in Excel spreadsheets. And so
Right,
we're
right,
really
right.
wanting to elevate the platform. So we're really super excited about it.
And I know that what I'm talking about here doesn't seem like it would apply, but it absolutely
It does.
applies to you. My friend who's the jeweler has been buying a lot of diamonds online because you can go online and just buy diamonds because it's so simple now. But what you're doing is offering an experience where you actually get to connect with other buyers, other jewelers. You learn stuff, you
Yeah,
experience the culture. You are creating this transformation for people, and I hope that you really lean into that because
we
what
are.
what you do is so incredibly specialized and so freaking cool. Yeah, I find what you do to be especially fascinating. So
Yeah, it's touching on what you said. That's, and just elevating the program, the experience. And a lot of people are already, in tune with that because they'll say, it's the relationships you make. And so that's a big part of it that we're really excited to elaborate upon.
and you say that you have a lot of repeat offenders.
We do.
I think when you create something so incredibly special that people come, they probably at this point don't give a darn about the diamonds. They know that they can get those, anywhere. I think what they're really buying is the experience and the camaraderie and the
That's exactly
education.
it. When we do the side trips, we don't do those all the time. We do them certain times of year, and we have people. I mean, we haven't started the planning for next year yet, but they're already like sign me up for next year. We don't care what it costs. They just and there's like a specific group of them now that always go on the first trip. They're like, we want first trip. We don't care where it is, So it definitely the experience and that whole idea behind it is a big seller.
I love this. Yeah, you totally get it. Even though you're not doing retreats, you're
Yeah,
doing
it
retreats.
translates very well.
You're definitely doing retreats. You're creating transformation.
Yeah.
Um, you may not be doing yoga, but you are doing exercises that certainly change people. Good for you. And tell me about the kind of food that do you have stuff catered or do you go out to fabulous
Yeah,
restaurants?
so we have certain relationships with different restaurants there, and we're obviously looking to expand upon that. And that's one reason I'm really excited about the Yuli software is because it gets challenging when you're planning dinners for, 40 to 60 people, right? A
Yep.
lot of people want you to pay up front. And then it's like, all right, well, we don't want to add anything onto these invoices that we've been doing on Excel because that's just 10 times more work. So Yuli's kind of created opportunity to open up more relationships with these different vendors for doing special dinners and stuff like that, because now we can add it on as a optional, checkout item and we can bill up front, and so it makes the process smoother. But certain places we've had relationships with, one of them is really neat. It's called The Cave, and it's a smaller establishment, but they make the dinners in a fireplace. Very old school. It's all about the atmosphere and everything, and people talk about it, and they go back again and again. Yeah, the fun thing is the side trips when we get to go to different places because we're always going to Antwerp, Belgium, just because that's where everything is. But doing those side trips and, giving them something different each time, we try to look for really special, things to throw in there. So it's been really exciting.
That's so freaking cool. And do you know about, and this is kind of going off topic and just talking about Yuli for a second, about the library where you'll be able to save, let's say you've got 10 different restaurants that you always go to. You'll be able to save those restaurants so that you can pull, yeah,
I'm
completely.
super excited.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
wait.
like
Yeah.
that's a fairly new feature within like the last 6 or 8 months. As a retreat leader, it thrills me. And so now it's just so much easier just to pull
Oh, yeah.
in that. Oh,
It's
that
life changing when you don't have to keep reinventing it every single time.
yes. God. Yeah, absolutely. Way, way cool. All right. The last thing I really want to talk about, and this is important to me, and you can let me know how your folks feel about this choosing rooms. Now, do you guys stay at hotels?
Yes.
Yeah. See, in the retreat world, you're staying at villas. Some people stay at camps. Some people stay in yurts. I don't care where you stay. For me, the room that you're staying in has to be, for me, it's got to be primo. And two, it has to be well described. If you're putting me in anything that's less than, then I need to know about it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. People are particular.
So when I do villas, I list out every room individually so that people can see what the room looks like, get an idea of its personality, and then book that particular room. You know that at the end of the day, people want to retreat back to their space where they feel safe and calm and stuff. And a king or a queen room or whatever gives them that privacy and control over their space. People obviously want to feel in control of their environment, as opposed to, if you have to share rooms, and the only time that people share rooms when I do something is if there happens to be an extra room and there's a couple of beds and people are looking to really come on the cheap. But by and large, we're all adults. Everybody wants their own room. So they want to know that they're feeling well taken care of. Bunk beds are the kiss of death. Could you even imagine? Anybody over the age of 25 doesn't want to be crawling up a bunk bed and calling it a night. I don't care what kind of retreat you're on. Bunk beds are really a last resort. I've seen so many retreat leaders choose a place just because it's a few bucks cheaper or it's a little, closer to town. That bedroom is going to make or break your retreat. So, and I'm assuming that you guys stay in fabulous hotels.
We try to, yeah. But we do, ironically, do have people who occasionally will room share. because someone's just looking to, they're a solo traveler and looking to
Do it on the
make it
cheap.
affordable. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I've got a retreat in Key West and one in Vegas, and I've got a couple of rooms that have two twin beds or two queen beds in the room. I would have to know that other person fairly well before I decided to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
I'm not that person.
Me neither. You and I could probably travel very well together in separate rooms, right? I'll see you down in breakfast in the morning. Have a lovely evening. Okay.
That's right.
Or meet me down at the bar. We'll have a nightcap and then everybody back to their rooms.
Takes a special person, but they
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, it is certainly not me. I'm not that person. So, yeah. So, while a lot of my retreat leaders who are listening to this, you're thinking, okay, I've got one room that's got four bunks or two bunk beds, so four sleeping places. I'll take that because I can put four bodies in there. You're going to be hard pressed to put four people in there, or find four people that want to go in there. So, if I see five bedrooms and one of them is a bunk room, as far as I'm concerned, I only have four bedrooms. Okay. If I happen to sell the other one, fine, but I'm only selling those four. Okay. So those are those are my ideas there. So, very, very simple today. We just kind of buzzed through all of this. First thing that you want is a vignette, some language about how people are going to feel when they arrive on your sales page. Give them that language that's going to make them feel welcome, that they know exactly what's going to happen as soon as they land, that's going to relieve that stress. Number two, make sure that you have what's included, what's not included. And as you saw from the one example, you can get a little descriptive rather than just bullet points. Okay. Number three, back end serenity. As far as your system goes, make sure that it looks professional, that it acts professionally because it is reflected uh, to your customers. Number four, be transparent with your refund policies and how you handle cancellations. People want to know. Number five, let folks know what they're going to be taking home, not physically, but how they're going to be impacted and how that's going to change their lives from that point on. Because, as Andrea will tell you, that's why they keep coming back time after time, because they've changed and they want to experience that feeling again. Okay. And then finally, make sure that when you're describing the rooms, that each room has a personality. Even if you're just selling king suites and queen suites, romance those rooms. Let people know that how special they are. Okay. Don't just let them know that you're going to put them in a queen room. Okay. Give them a little personality there. Spend that extra time to build the sales page right, and they are going to want to come back over and over again. And if you're watching this and you're not a Yuli customer, feel free to give me a holler. I'll go through a quick demo of what Yuli can do for you and for your business. Like I said, I'm a retreat leader. I've been using Yuli for the last 5 years. I do probably, God, this past year, I did 11 retreats and I'm going on my 12th one next week. So that's 12 retreats that I did. We've got folks who use Yuli who do literally thousands of trips a year to organize school trips and stuff like that. And then we've got folks who just do 2 or 3 a year. So wherever you fall in there, Yuli is a great tool. Let me show you how we use it to organize all of that travel. Questions, comments about absolutely anything at all?
I just have a quick question. For the prompts that you put for the chat GPT, is that
Uh-huh.
in your playbook that you have?
There'll be a new playbook that's coming out, and I'll include these.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank you much.